Hello my book besties, it's Dano and welcome to my November HRCYED reading challenge update, as well as all the other challenges that I'm currently in the middle of. So let's firstly have a look at HRCYED and how I am doing for that challenge. The first book that I read that counted for HRCYED was Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. I read this for the Even Bigger Rainbow Challenge with the lovely red cover, as well as the A to Z challenge for F. I then read All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. I read this for the disability rep because of the bipolar disorder representation that's in this book. And then also the Even Bigger Rainbow for the light blue colour. I read Heartstopper Volume 2 by Alice Ousman for the A to Z challenge for O, as well as for the queer alphabet for gay. I then read Fallen City by Adrienne Young. I used this for the new releases for November, as well as the A to Z challenge for Y. I read Reckless by Lauren Roberts. And I used this for the series Staircase for Trilogy, being book number 2. I then read The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. I used this for the By the 100s, being over 600 pages but under 700. As well as award season, being a finalist for the Goodreads Choice Awards for the Romantasy category. It was in the top 5. I then read Bride by Ellie Hazelwood. And I used this for the A to Z challenge for H. I read Tourist Season by Bryn Weaver. I read this for the new releases. It was a September release, but I just got it into the 60 days. And I used it for the Even Bigger Rainbow, having a purple cover. Then lastly for HRCYED, I read Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. I used this for award season, being another finalist for the Goodreads Choice Awards Romantasy category, as well as the last 10/12 years, being a 2023 release. So let's have a look at how these bingo cards are looking. By the 100s, it went from 4 to 5. I still haven't done the 24-hour readathon. It's something I plan on doing in December. Subgenre of choice stayed at 2. Series Staircase moved from 4 to 5. Award season is now on the board with 2. TBR game is still completed. The last 12 years went from 5 to 6, so now halfway done. All the adaptations stayed at 4. Disability rep went from 1 to 2. Heritage month stayed at 2. Translation challenge is still at 2. Around the world is still at 1. An Even Bigger Rainbow did a massive jump from 8 to 11, so I only have 2 more to go. Make a quote is still at 1. Spooky Creatures is still at 6. Become the Avatar is still at 0. Any Readathon is still at 6. Animals Are Better is still at 2. Even Queer Alphabet has gone to 2. Favorite one, HRCYED prompt, so my A to Z challenge went from 11 to 15, so a decent jump. BIPOC challenge has stayed at 5. New releases has gone from 2 to 4. Challenge myself is still completed. Non-fiction challenge is still at 2. And Q's Rex is still at 2. So all in all, I'm doing okay. I worked out that for everything that I've selected, I have 211 prompts, and out of that I have completed 103, and that's almost halfway. And technically we've only just finished November, so we're not even halfway through the challenge, so I am actually pretty happy with that, although I do know that we are now going into it being a little bit harder to just slot books in. I'm going to have to be more focused on what I'm reading and making sure that I'm covering off prompts, especially that quote challenge. I'm finding that quote challenge so hard. I didn't realize that that quote would be that hard to find for, but the titles are very similar, but they're not quite the same word. Like close. It would be closer. It's just, yeah. Anyway, I did it to myself. Worst comes to worst, I might just have to change my quote. And then I definitely need to focus on my Avatar challenge. I have the books picked for that. I just haven't picked up the first one in that series, so I haven't got the ball rolling on that entire series. But once I start them, then I'm just reading one series and then I'm done. So moving on to my other challenges, and we're starting off with fantasy. This one I definitely am not happy with because I didn't complete a single prompt for this one in the entire month of November. So I need to make sure that when I'm selecting my TBR at the start of every month, that I'm going through my challenges and seeing what books are on them and using those as guides for what I should be selecting for my challenge, like for my TBR game prompts as well, because there's no point in creating all these TBRs for challenges if I'm not completing them, or at least trying to complete them. So I want to make a more conscious effort of reading these books. For the autumn readathon, it was the last month for this one, and I completed one book. I read Ace of Shades, so it got me one closer. I just had a lot of fun creating this TBR. I wasn't really being too serious with it. I have been speaking to Emily about convincing her to do a spring one as well, and I think she might. So I'm very excited for that, and then I will try and have a bit more of a conscious go of actually completing that one. But yes, check out Emily's stuff. She posts a whole lot of videos as well, and it's been fun getting to know her, so go support her as well. And I've had fun with this challenge over the last 3 months, but I kind of wish I did a little bit better with it. But anyway, it is what it is. Then moving on to the Romantasy bingo. For this one, it only started in November and was created by Covers with Cassidy, so go check out her video. For all of these challenges, I will leave the links down below where you can find them, so check out the description. And I am pretty happy with the fact that I completed Reckless by Lauren Roberts, and I also completed Bride by Ellie Hazelwood, and they're both on the same row, so I am 2 books closer to my first bingo with it. Let's see how long it takes me to get there. The last challenge I've got going is my 25 in 2025, and for this one I did okay. I got my second bingo by reading Ace of Shades, which I'm very happy with. And then I also read All the Bright Places, which gave me another book on there. I don't think I'm going to be getting a third bingo given what's on my December TBR, but that's okay. I had fun reading these books, and I at least got halfway. They're all the challenges that I currently have going. I do also technically have my 35 before 35 that I have started. However, I'm going to do that series as a quarterly check-in rather than doing it every month, because I just don't think I will be reading enough of it to go through all of those series, because there's 35 series on there, so I don't want to go through all of that every month. So I'm going to do that one as a quarterly check-in, so you'll see a little bit later in December for my first check-in. And thank you all for watching. I am planning on doing a video of all the challenges that I know of that I want to be participating in 2026, so the ones that are ongoing that I'm carrying over, as well as the new ones that have started and the ones that I've put in my reading journal. So stay tuned for that video. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please give it a like and hit the subscribe button if you want to. Let me know what reading challenges you're in the middle of or looking at participating in 2026, or if you're not in the chatty mood, leave a purple heart emoji because I love a purple heart, and I will see you all next time. Bye!